Right, this is a bit of an unplanned follow-up to my last vlog, which if you haven't seen it, it was a ride across an old drover's road to connect with the old A5, which has since been bypassed but still exists as a forgotten lost road, but that's by the by. What happened when I got back, later in the evening I went to get something from where I keep the bike and noticed I had a flat tyre. Well, that is the first time I've ever had a flat tyre on this Kona mountain bike. You're less likely to get flats on mountain bikes because obviously you've got thicker knobbly tyres. You're not on roads so much like road bikers, so you're not going to be picking up blackthorns spikes and hawthorn spikes, so you're much more likely to get a flat on a thin road bike or even a gravel bike than a mountain bike. But it happened. I had a flat front tyre, and to cut a long story short, I attempted to change the tyre, which sounds simple enough. In fact, my daughter, who just bought a bike, she's just done London to Brighton, an overnighter on a £100 Argos bike, which is all credit to her. She said, "Oh, you must show me how to change fix a puncture, put an inner tube in, because I haven't done it yet." So I said, "Yeah, okay, watch me." And then I couldn't get the bloody tyre off. Try as I might, it was totally bonded. The beading was totally bonded to the wheel. I couldn't get tyre levers in. I couldn't, for the life of me, get any purchase on it to get the tyre off. And of course it was flat. And the thought struck me, what the hell would happen if I was out on the moors, say on a bike packing trip, middle of nowhere, and I get a flat on the mountain bike, and I can't get the bloody tyre off. So I had a look at, I was at home, so I went in and had a look at the internet, and sure enough, lots of people have problems, especially with mountain bikes, getting the tyre off. I saw one guy saying, "Oh, I took it into a bike shop, it took 2 of them to get it off," and other people saying, "Well, I had to stand on it flat on the floor and pull with the spokes," which doesn't sound a very good idea, does it? So it's a common problem, especially with mountain bikes, as I say. So how did I get around it? I did after a lot of work, a lot of messing, and a lot of head scratching. The only thing I could use with these, let's go a bit closer. I don't know if you can see what these are. Can you see what it is yet? These are for the welding clamps. For, if you can imagine, if you're welding a wheel arch and the adjustable clamp, they clamp the metal that you're welding on to the body, so you could have got 2 hands free to use your welding rods. All I could do was get that on the tyre really tight and twist with both hands, really twist the tyre, and eventually it broke the seal. Now, I'm not suggesting you go out and get a pair of welding clamps, and these come in all different shapes and sizes, by the way, all different configurations. But you wouldn't want these in your tool bag. But there is if you do have the same problem as I do, and you do find you've got a flat at home, you might be in the same situation where you can't get the tyre off. There are other alternatives. You could get a pipe wrench, you know, those adjustable pipe wrenches that plumbers use, this with the sliders that adjust the head. Put some amalgamated rubberized tape round, or an old inner tube, whatever, around the serrated edge, because you don't want to damage the tyre, and that would work. Something similar. But one thing I did decide after the messing around with that is I happen to have a slime tube. Now these are Presta valves on both of my bikes. My touring bike, my Temple, and this bike both got Presta valves, and both with non-removable valve cores. So, and this is a Schrader, so I couldn't use this, but I did have a Presta So I thought, well, if you don't know what slime tubes are, think of like the tubeless tyres where you have a liquid inside the tyre, and if you get a puncture, it goes to the site of the puncture and seals it basically. Slime is a liquid like that. I mean, most of you probably know what I'm talking about, but there will be some people that haven't a clue. You basically remove the valve core, attach this tube and pour it in. I think it's about 140 mil, 118 mil for a bike, and yeah, and that seals it. But as I say, not having removable valve cores, I couldn't do it, so I had to put a slime tube in. The next day I ordered another slime tube for the back, because I thought this is not going to be very healthy if I get a flat and I'm out in the middle of nowhere. They're not totally foolproof. You can still slash your tyre, and if you get a bad slash, then your tyre will still go down. But for just a general puncture, if you get a nail or a hawthorn spike in, they should do the job. So the moral of this story is, if you're not aware of it already, you could find yourself in difficulty if you're on a mountain bike and you get a flat somewhere, because you might not get it off very easily, in which case prevention is probably better than cure. So you might want to get yourself well, if you've got the potential to go tubeless, you might want to consider going tubeless, or you might want to get some slime tubes which are preloaded and stick them on, because you might have a problem. Because I can't see, as I say, I can't see anybody wanting to go out in the field with a big pair of welding sheet metal clamps. But yeah, so basically that's what I discovered. So if you're a fairly new cyclist, new to mountain biking, be aware it could be a problem if you are not prepared and you get a flat out in the field. So be prepared like a good boy scout and girl guide. Okay, catch you soon.